Okay, this is the next segment to the sculpture that I've been working on, loosely titled the Sculptor, and it features using SculpTools from SculpTools.com. If you'd like any further information, just go there and you can see a full line of the tools that I've used to make this sculpture. Now, let me show you what I've done. It's been quite a bit of progress. Put some coveralls on the little man. Still not finished. Still a lot of details to do. But you can see it's coming right along. I'm going to put some seams and so forth to make this look a little more like coveralls. But I'll tell you, if I didn't have some of these tools like these prototype silicone tools that I've been using, doing some of the tasks on this sculpture would be a real chore. For instance, doing some of the folds and so forth in the fabric and smoothing things out, you know, like this little area. Some of these spots are not going to show real well on the camera, but let's see if we can zoom in just a little bit and show you what's going on here. What I do is I use these soft tip silicone tools, and I've got a couple of them. One of them has a wider tip than the other one. This one is a little stiffer, a little thicker. This one's a little thinner, a little more flexible. The thinner one on the other end has a very thin and flexible wedge shape right there on the end. And then this one on the other end has what's kind of like a small finger. And that's good for rolling, but it's also good for smoothing inside small areas. For instance, some of these areas still have wrinkles and so forth that I don't want in the clay. You have little tool marks and markings, and I want to smooth that down, and the easiest way to do it is with a shape like this, because I can get right in to those areas and go either direction and smooth down any marks and so forth that you see, and then kind of roll over it to smooth it over. Now, in some cases, especially if I wet my finger, I can go over those areas and get some of that that I would work on with a tool, and that will work in some cases. But there's some areas, like inside those little folds and so forth, my fingers won't fit. So that's where the finger of this tool, so to speak, really helps. So it just kind of gets right in to those little cracks and crevices and smooths out. Turn this a little bit more. Smooths out those areas, and if I can't quite get in there with that rounded point, I can try this one, and if that one doesn't fit, I can use this and smooth with that. And if that doesn't fit, then I use the even smaller wedge. But these are also just strong enough that if the clay is well conditioned, these will actually create cracks and crevices and folds. What I like about this is I can push it against the wider part of the tool and then roll it and make folds. Oops, hold on to this. Folds in what would be the fabric in this case. Pretty easy. And then smooth them on back. And I'm going to continue to do that and also use it to smooth some of these areas where it's still a little lumpy and bumpy. But where another tool comes in is in areas like this. I don't know whether the camera can pick up kind of the waviness of this surface, and I could work on it with my finger, especially if I put water on my finger, and that will help some, but usually it just scrapes the surface. It doesn't smooth out the lumpiness or the waviness, but what does work is this mini roller tool. Where it will get right in there, following the contours of my work, and they're gone. All that waviness is gone that was in that area that I just worked on. And I can continue to do that in all kinds of areas. Eventually what I hope to do is come up with a version of this that's about half this diameter, and we'll get into even smaller areas. So this will flatten those areas down that I don't want folds, and then I can get in there and put realistic looking wrinkles in there where I do want the folds. Now I'm not sure if the camera can pick up where there's kind of some uneven texture along the leg here. Let me remove a hair first. But that's another area, and this will work. There's some fingerprints that you may not be able to see, but what I'm going to do right now is kind of iron out all that unwanted texture and scratches and things like that. And they're gone. Same thing over here. The nice part about this tool is I can go all the way around its surface, whether it's around a head or a jewelry bead, for instance. And it works like a rolling pin, but just in real targeted spots. So I can iron out really quickly and go around the contours of this leg and get it nice and smooth the way it should look. You don't want a lumpy leg. So there's much more to do. I still have a lot of smoothing here where I've added some clay. I need to add a little bit of clay here and there. And then still have some more things to do. Have to create the shoes and put the seams on his trousers. Work a little bit more on finishing off some of the details. I want to create like some little buckles or something that looks like buckles up there on the straps. But what he's going to be doing, just in case, just for those of you that haven't seen the previous videos, what he's going to be doing here, let me zoom out a little bit, is this little character is a sculptor, and he is going to be sculpting a little self-portrait. So his hand is going to be holding the stand there, and he's getting ready to do some more work on his own little self-portrait. And then before I'm done, you notice there's facial hair on this little guy. I'm going to bake this and then add the hair afterwards with viscose, I think it's called, viscose hair, and put that on after the fact. So there's still a lot of little things to do, but that's where we are today on the Sculptor.